Welcome back to Mama Thando's isiZulu classroom, where learning isiZulu is fun. isiZulu simnandi. Igama lami uMama Thando. Lo igama lakhe ukhomba. Ubani igama lakho? Ngiyajabula ukukwazi. Mngani, let's sing the Sawubona song and greet all our friends around the world. Sawubona, sawubona, unjani mngani? Sondela hlala phansi, sifunde mngani. Sawubona mngani. Unjani? How are you? Unjani? Well, to answer that question, mngani, let's sing the imizwa yethu song. Imizwa yethu. Imizwa yethu. Mina nginemizwa, wena unemizwa, yena unemizwa, bona banemizwa, sonke sinemizwa. Mina nginjani, ngabe ngiyaphila, ngabe ngidumele, ngabe ngikhathele, ngabe nginjani. Mina ngiyaphila, ngabe wena unjani, ngabe uyaphila, ngabe uyagula, ngabe ujabule. Wena uyaphila, yena unjani. Ngabe udangele, ngabe ukhathele, ngabe uneme. Yena uyaphila, bona banjani. Ngabe bayaphila, ngabe bayakhala, ngabe bathokozile. Bona bayaphila, thina sinjani. Ngabe siyaphila, ngabe sineme, ngabe sijabule. Thina sijabule, thina sijabule. So, I ask you again, mngani, unjani, how are you? Oh, that's good to know. Mina ngijabule. It's such a beautiful day outside, mngani. We are having lovely weather. To say nice weather or lovely weather in isiZulu, we say lihle, lihle, lihle. So to put that in a full sentence, mngani, here it is. Namhlanje izulu lihle. Today the weather is nice. Now mngani, let's get on with our lesson. You heard me there. I introduced myself and said, igama lami. And then I told you my name, uMama Thando. Then I introduced my friend, Khomba. Yes, his name is Khomba, which means to point. Khomba. And so I said to you, igama lakhe ukhomba. But there was something right before that. A small little thing there before it. I said, lo, ukhomba, lo. So this is khomba. When I say this, I'm only saying this lo only to a person's name or an animal's name when you're calling that animal by their name. So if your pet's name is Zoe, then it's uZoe. So when you say this is Zoe, then you will say lo, and then you say the person's name or the pet's name. So I told you that my friend here, ukhomba, that's his name. And khomba, of course, means to point, because, well, khomba helps me to point at everything on the board. Now, I said, lo igama lakhe ukhomba. That K is the only difference between what I said about myself and what I said about him. When I was talking about myself, I said, igama lami. That me is myself. Anything that I am talking about, saying my this and my that, will always have that me in it. Everything that I'm saying about someone else and saying here's this and here's that, I will always say ke. So igama lakhe. Then we spoke about you. I asked you what your name is. I said, ubani igama lakho. Do you see that it changes now? That syllable. It was lami, then it was lakhe, and now it's lakho. I am talking about your name. So whatever it is that we are talking about and saying it belongs to you, it will always have that ko to it when we are talking about you. Now, we can also say he is khomba, she is khomba, I am Mama Thando. So we are now skipping the whole phrase of my name is igama lami u. We are skipping that whole phrase now, mngani. Now listen to this. I am Mama Thando. Listen to this one now. Ngingu Mama Thando. Ngingu Mama Thando. I am Mama Thando. So if you were talking about yourself, let's pretend I am you and your name is Umngani, right? Now, this is what you would say. You would say, Ngingumngani. Let's pretend Komba has a voice. I'll put Komba right here in front of me. And let's say, I am Komba. Of course, we're pretending that Komba is speaking here. Ngingu Komba. Ngingu Komba. Did you hear that, Mngani? It's just, I am Komba, not my name is Komba. That's short, nice and quick. If you're introducing yourself to someone, you just simply say Ngingu and then your name. So if your name was Fikile, you would say Ngingu Fikile. Let's pretend your name is Themba. Now, say this after me, Mngani. Ngingu Themba. Very good, Mngani. You said that very well. I am Themba. Well, no, not me. No, I am not Themba. I am Mama Thando. Now, Mngani, let's now move on from that short lesson on how to introduce ourselves to the days of the week in isiZulu. The days of the week, that phrase is izinsuku zesonto. Izinsuku zesonto. Those are the days of the week. Please repeat that phrase, Mngani. Izinsuku zesonto. That NT sound at the end of zesonto, the last syllable, that NT sound is like this. You must lift your tongue and put it right on the roof of your mouth, but to the front, not all the way to the back, just the front only. Don't think you can do it with your mouth open, as in your teeth separate like this. It doesn't happen. Look at that. Look at that. It's a different sound altogether. One I don't know. So, Mngani, izinsuku zesonto. Repeat the whole phrase for me. Izinsuku zesonto. Very, very good, Mngani. Now, I'm going to say each day of the week. but I'm actually going to do it a little faster. Namhlanje. The reason I'm doing that is because I want you to get used to speaking slowly. Get used to speaking in a normal speaking pace. So we'll say the days of the week in a normal speaking pace. Now, focus on my lips, my mouth, and see how I am moving my mouth, and copy me as much as you can. Masiqale. Let's start. Isonto. Umsombuluko. uLwesibili. uLwesithathu. uLwesine. uLwesihlanu. uMgqibelo. Very, very good, Mngani. Halala, that was really good. Now, Mngani, I think we can now sing the days of the week in isiZulu. Now, remember, for this song, you can either clap your hands, snap your fingers, stamp your feet, chigiza, whatever feels comfortable and whatever feels fun. But just make sure that you are safe and using this time to memorize the days of the week and to pronounce them correctly. Let's start. Isonto umsombuluko, uLwesibili uLwesithathu, uLwesine uLwesihlanu, kube uMgqibelo, izinsuku. One more time, but a little faster. Isonto umsombuluko, uLwesibili uLwesithathu, uLwesine uLwesihlanu, kube uMgqibelo, izinsuku. One more time, but even faster than before. Now let's go. Isonto umsombuluko, uLwesibili uLwesithathu, uLwesine uLwesihlanu, kube uMgqibelo, izinsuku. That was crazy. It was too fast even for me, but that was fun. Ngiyabonga Mngani. Now, let us move on to these 4 questions that I have taken the pleasure and liberty to answer. Let us repeat these together. We last saw each other on Monday, which was yesterday. So which makes today uLwesibili. Namhlanje uLwesibili. Repeat that after me, Mngani. Namhlanje uLwesibili. Very good. Yesterday, we've already said that. Izolo bekuwumsombuluko. Repeat that after me, Mngani. Try and say this whole phrase, Mngani, without breaking it down. So what I'm going to ask you to do is use your finger point to each and every syllable so that you don't take any pauses or breaks in between. Now let's go. Izolo bekuwumsombuluko. Brilliant, Mngani. That was good. The day before yesterday, kuThangi bekuyisonto. Repeat that after me, Mngani. kuThangi bekuyisonto. Very good, Mngani. Here's another long one. I'm going to ask you to do the same as you were doing here. Make sure that you point to each and every syllable. Now let's do this, Mngani. Repeat after me. Kusasa kuzobe kuLwesithathu. Very, very good, Mngani. Very, very good. Shayizandla. Now, Mngani, let's move on to the weather. I already told you, Mngani, that the weather outside is beautiful. I'm going to give you a sneak peek on what it looks like outside. Now, I looked out the imaginary window earlier and I saw how beautiful the weather is. And so I'm going to show you what I saw outside. Do you see how nice the weather is? Beautiful weather. Lihle. Just the same as we always say, liyashisa, it is hot. Liyanetha, it is raining. Now, to just say it's nice. Lihle. 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 Repeat that after me, Mngani. Lihle. Very good. Now, let's say today the weather is nice. In a full sentence. Namhlanje izulu lihle. Repeat that after me, Mngani. Namhlanje izulu lihle. Perfect, Mngani. Beautiful. So, Andile is waiting right here for us so that we can check and make sure that he is dressed just right for today. Yeah? Let's have a look and see if he is wearing just the right clothes for today. Look, Mngani. Sawubona Andile. Look at that, Mngani. What is Andile wearing today? Can you say each of these things, but make sure you put it in a full sentence like this? Andile is wearing an orange t-shirt. Andile is wearing green shorts. And Andile is wearing green sneakers, khakis, or you can also say black khakis if you want. The color green is umbala oluhlaza okwotshani. Umbala oluhlaza okwotshani. So that's the color green. Now, Mngani, let me move out of the way so I give you a chance to make those sentences. You can feel free to pause the video right here, Mngani, so that you can have time enough to write those 3 sentences describing what Andile is wearing. Mngani, how did you do? What did you say about the t-shirt? Andile is wearing an orange t-shirt. I'm sure you did good, Mngani. Let's say it now together. U-Andile ugqoke isikipha esiwolintshi. U-Andile ugqoke isikipha esiwolintshi. Very, very good, Mngani. Always remember, when we are talking about someone else, we're not talking to them directly like this, but I'm talking about him. Then I must start his name with an U before it. I can't just start and say Andile. I must say U-Andile. Now, next sentence, Mngani, about the shorts. So, Mngani, did you get the same sentence as I? Let's see. U-Andile ugqoke isikhindi esiluhlaza okwotshani. U-Andile ugqoke isikhindi esiluhlaza okwotshani. And then the shoes, the sneakers, the trainers, the tackies. What did you say about the shoes? And which color did you choose? Did you choose black or did you choose green? Well, don't worry, Mngani, so much. Just choose one color to describe the shoes. In future, we are going to learn how to describe something that has more than one color and say black and white or black, white and green tackies in future. Don't you worry about that. We'll do it. Now, for this, what color did you choose and what did you say? Let's see if you have the same one as I. U-Andile ugqoke amateki amnyama. Let me repeat that, Mngani. U-Andile ugqoke amateki amnyama. I chose the color black. You can just fit in with your own color that you chose, whether black, green, or white. Wonderful, Mngani. We did so well. Let's say bye to Andile. Remember, he's the one who is leaving. We are staying right here. Now, Mngani, when we are staying behind and the other person is going, we say, hamba kahle, bye. But if we are the ones who are leaving and the other person is staying behind, we must now say sala kahle because we are the ones who are going. So we're saying remain well. Now, Mngani, which one are we going to say to Andile? Are we going to say sala kahle or are we going to say hamba kahle? Yeah, Mngani, that's correct. We will say to him hamba kahle. Now let's do that together. Hamba kahle Andile. Very good, Mngani. Now, Mngani, we come to the month and the season that we are in. We are still in autumn. Autumn in isiZulu is ukwindla. Ukwindla. Repeat that after me, Mngani. Ukwindla. Very, very good, Mngani. And the month we are in, if you look here, that MB would make you think that this is a mb sound, but it's one of those words like umbala, a color, umbuzo, a question, that we don't say mb. Instead, we say umb, umbasa. We separate these two sounds and we say umbasa. Repeat that after me, Mngani. Umbasa. Very, very good, Mngani. Umbasa is the month. There are people who say umbasa. Just let them be, Mngani. It's okay. Doesn't matter. But you know the correct pronunciation is umbasa. Now, Mngani, in future, I am going to explain to you in greater detail why some of those words have that pronunciation. Instead of being mb, they are mb. I will certainly do that in future. I don't want to say it now because I don't want to teach you too many sounds that might be confusing to you. So let's move on along, Mngani. Now, the sound of this week is the NC. That's the sound of this week. Umsindo, a sound. Umsindo, the NC together. When I say NC, Mngani, I am saying in that syllable, those are the only two consonants. There are no other consonants with it. All there is around it are vowels. Maybe there is a vowel before the sound NC, and maybe there's another vowel after it. but no consonants, just NC. So that's what we are working with. Izolo, we learnt the word ncane, ncane, which is an adjective, small, young, ncane. Ingane encane, a small child. Now, namhlanje, today, I would like us to learn these two words. They are both verbs, izenzo, action words. The first is ncenga, ncenga. Now I'm going to come closer to your screen, mngani. I would like you to look at my tongue as I lift it up and then down. It might not be as easy to see because of course it's inside my mouth, but try as much as you can. That's how we make the sound. So you lift the front part of your tongue, not the pointy way that we did in the past with other sounds, but this one, the tongue is relaxed a bit. And so it's fuller, like that. Now, we'll lift it up. It must go right behind the front teeth at the top. And drop the tongue down. Now, let's say this word. Ncenga, that is to beg or to plead. If I say, ncenga umama, beg mommy, beg her for the sweets. Then you can say, mama, ngicela usweetie. That's begging, or well, requesting, asking someone for something. But ncenga is to beg or to plead. Now here's another word. Ncela, ncela, that is to suckle. For example, when a baby is suckling on a bottle, drinking the milk or water. For example, a baby will also suckle on mommy's breast. And also, animals like a calf of a cow will suckle on their mother's breast to drink their milk. Ncela, ncela. Repeat that after me, mngani. Ncela. Very, very good, mngani. That was brilliant. Now, mngani, that brings us to the number of the day. Inombolo, a number. Our number is 12 in English. Ishumi nambili. Ishumi nambili. Now, mngani, let's think back to our numbers. If we are counting from 0, let's just count up to 2. Now, mngani, let's recall our numbers. We'll count from 0 to 2 only. Iqanda, kunye, kubili. So, mngani, you hear that number 2, kubili. That B sound is soft, bili. But now, when we come to 12, the B sound has changed. It's no longer just the B on its own without another consonant, just vowels only. Now it's a B that has an M right before it. That's what happens after 10. That's what happens with 2. Once we move on from the 2 on its own, we start going into tens. We start saying mbili. It's the same thing that happens with 13, 3, 14. It's the same thing that happens to 13, which is 3. It's the same thing that happens with the number 3 once it is 4. It's the same thing that happens with the number 3 once it is 13. And the number 5 once it is 15. The sound changes to a bit of a nasal sound. So let's say that number now again. Ishumi nambili. Ishumi nambili. Very, very good, Mngani. Now let's look at this, Mngani. We've got 12 fingers. A finger, just one finger, is umunwe. Fingers, iminwe. Iminwe. Great, Mngani. Now we want to say 12 fingers. Whenever we describe a word that starts with imi, its adjective will always start with e. Now, in isiZulu, the noun comes before the adjective. So in English, it's the other way around. 12 fingers. Do you hear? I'm starting with the adjective, the number, and then the noun. But in isiZulu, we are going to start with the noun, ibizo, which is iminwe, and now we go to the number. We want to say 12. So of course we are starting with e, and then the number ishumi nambili. But there is something we are forgetting, Mngani. Have you spotted it? Yeah, Mngani, there has to be a consonant between those two vowels, because in isiZulu, we can never have more than one vowel together, like the word boat, for example. No. Even think of the word boat in French. It is bateau, E-A-U. How can you have all of those vowels together? Okay, fine, it's French, it's not isiZulu, so they can do that. But in isiZulu, we just don't do that, Mngani. We must separate these vowels with a consonant. And that consonant is decided like this. If the second vowel is an I, then we will separate the two vowels with a Y. So now this is what we have. Eyishumi nambili. Eyishumi nambili. Now let's say the whole sentence. Iminwe eyishumi nambili. Very, very good, Mngani. Oh, look at that. Beds. 12 beds. It's a lot of beds. Mngani, a bed in isiZulu is umbede. Umbede. Umbede, that's a bed. Beds are imibede. 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 Very good, Mngani. Now let's say 12 beds. I'm going to leave this one for you to do by yourself, Mngani. I know you can do it. And so, Mngani, what did you say? Very good, Mngani. That's correct. Imibede eyishumi nambili. Imibede eyishumi nambili. Here's the last one. 12 young ladies. You could say sissies. It sounds a bit wrong in English. But anyway, usisi is a lady who is older than you. So, to show respect, you then call them sisi. Now, here we are. osisi, that's plural. So young ladies who are older than you, but not old enough to be your mom. Here they are, 12 of them. Osisi, the noun starts with o. And so the adjective is going to start with aba. Osisi, aba. What do we say next? Yebo mngani, we have a Y there, that consonant. So because our number is going to be starting with an I. So abayishumi nambili. Abayishumi nambili. Repeat after me mngani. Osisi, abayishumi nambili. Very, very good mngani. Now, let's move on to the shape of the week. The shape of this week is a square. The word square in isiZulu is borrowed from English. And it is isikwele. Isikwele. Now, this one is green. Isikwele esiluhlaza okwotshani. But let's have a look at these. Let's have a look at the ones on the screen right now. Isikwele esikhulu. Isikwele esikhulu. In this one, oh, it's a gray square. Isikwele esimpunga. Isikwele esimpunga. Oh, okay, this is interesting. This is plural. We have big squares and they are also gray. So, gray big squares, or big gray squares. I think it's big gray squares, yeah? Now, let's say this together. Izikwele ezinkulu ezimpunga. Izikwele ezinkulu ezimpunga. Wonderful, Mngani. You did so well. I am so very proud of you. And now, Mngani, on to the color of this week. The color of this week is green. Umbala oluhlaza okwotshani. Repeat that for me, Mngani. Umbala oluhlaza okwotshani. Very good, Mngani. Now, let's see what green things. Oh, one of my favorites. An avocado in isiZulu is ukotapeya. Ukotapeya. Now, a green avocado, as if there's another color. Ukotapeya oluhlaza okwotshani. Repeat that after me, Mngani. Ukotapeya oluhlaza okwotshani. And a green frog. A frog in isiZulu is iselesele. Iselesele. Now, a green frog. iselesele eliluhlaza okwotshani. Iselesele eliluhlaza okwotshani. That was great, Mngani. I am so proud of you. Let's clap hands just for you. Shayizandla. Wonderful, Mngani. Now, before you go, Mngani, I think we should get up and stretch our bodies just a little bit, don't you think? Yeah, Mngani, let's move those bodies. Wonderful learning namhlanje. Ngizokubona kusasa. I will see you tomorrow. Sala kahle.